Okay, let's see if this is working. So bear with me just a minute. My screen is still giving me hiccups. Yay! It looks like it might be working, so you guys tell me, can you see me? Is my volume working? Please let me know. Please let me know if this is working. I had some technical issues earlier, so I want to make sure you guys can see me. I'm Tammy. I'm the Siberian Wind. Please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Marco, you know, I'll keep calling Marco until somebody says Polo. Yay! Awesome, awesome. Okay. My live stream went to Saturday's live stream, and YouTube had a hiccup and was putting this stream on that viewing. It's really weird. Really weird. So welcome in, Linda. Welcome, Glenda. Welcome, Patricia. Welcome, Judy. Thank you guys for being here. Yes, Patricia. Yes, absolutely, Polo. Welcome in, Laura. Welcome. I saw Linda's having to rip and resew, and Glenda was asking if I'm doing better. I'm doing a lot better than I was yesterday. I think I was awake all of 8 hours yesterday. Definitely not my normal. I'm normally, like, the moment that I wake up, I am awake until it is way past bedtime. But no, that was not the case this time. I was awake, you know, going back to sleep. Like I was fighting it. Welcome in, Susan. Welcome. All right, so we are going to do Halloween Town first. That is first up on the list. Let me bring you guys over. I was playing with my screens and all that on the other stream, so I don't know how much you guys saw, so bear with me. I do have my binding. It's not cut, it's just the amount that I'm going to need for my binding. So I am going to be using the black glitter binding. And I did pull some yardage off of my bolts over in the corner. This is 108-inch wide backing, so I've got plenty of it. So once we get all of this put together tonight, it will be ready and able to go directly into the pile to be quilted. So Friday I finished quilting my sister-in-law's quilt. Welcome in, Katie. Glad you're here. Thank you. So I finished quilting my sister-in-law's quilt, which is the cross-stitch quilt that I've been working on for a really long time. It's the grandmother quilt, if you will. And today I finished stitching the edging down. Welcome in, Pam. Glad you made it. Glad you're here. I stitched the edging of it around, and then I stitched the baby quilt. I actually quilted the baby quilt and stitched the edging of that and trimmed both of those up. So that's what I've been doing today. I have been on fire. Welcome in, Chloe. Susan says, looks different without the Halloween blocks on the wall. Yes, but they are right here. They are about to go together. I saved you guys the best part, okay? I didn't do everything. I just saved you guys the best part. All right. So what I did is I went ahead and pulled the strips off the wall. And so this is the top row that is going to go on this quilt. So we have skeleton guy. The next one over is the male zombie. The middle one is the owls. The next one over right under my chin is the haunted house. And then this one over here is the witch flying over the black cat and the hat. So this is the top row. So what we're going to do is we're going to put sashing on tonight. And we are going to get all of this, we're going to get the complete top completely done. So I'm going to put sashing on the top of all of the rows, and then we're going to put the rows together. And I do have sashing for the very top and the very bottom. It does not say anything fun. This is just plain purple. I'm lucky to be functional tonight, so yeah, it is what it is. It is not anything fun or fancy tonight. we're just making it work. We're just making it work. And my husband did say, save your batiks for something else that you want to do. So the back is going to be black. I'm not going to do anything batik-y fancy on the back, because why waste a batik on the back of a wall quilt when I could be using that batik on something I'd rather use it on. So I'm going to sew with a full 1/4 inch, sewing these rows together. And I don't know if you guys remember when we were putting this sashing on the edges of these blocks, what we did is we had the sashing that matched where the ground was going, and all of those match really, really well. And then we have the sashing that was halfway up the block, and those we pressed half of those down and half of them up, so these interlocked. So when I went to go put the rows together, those interlocked. So they really did come out fantastic. So we've got sashing already on the top and on the bottom of the embroidery blocks, but putting this extra sashing is going to mean that I don't have to match seams here to the seams on the next row. Oh, no worries, Glenda. She says, sorry, I had to go out trying to catch another possum. Well, that's fine. That's fine. So I have done a few things since I saw you guys last. I did go finish taking a training course. I am looking at getting my concealed carry permit. Not that I need it here in the state of Wyoming. Wyoming is an open carry state. But because I tend to travel without my husband sometimes, it makes us feel a little bit more comfortable for me to have the ability and know how to use something to protect myself if I'm out by myself. And so I went and took my courses, and of course they have you target shooting, and we went to an outdoor range. And it's fine if you're not a gun fan. I'm please do not take any of this as I'm promoting it for something that you need to do. That is a personal decision for each individual person. But we went to an outdoor range because welcome in, Susie. She says hello, got the bag, so cute. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm so glad. I wanted to make sure that those got out to everyone before Halloween. We do still have one more giveaway day coming up this Tuesday. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, so we went out to the range, and I had my instructor there. She was taking me out, and she's big on self-defense and all of that kind of stuff. And so my husband went out with us because my dog has never been exposed to gunfire. And I didn't know how he would react or respond. And I don't have hearing protection for him yet. So I don't want to take him and just keep him close to me the whole time I'm doing anything. So we took my husband, and ooh, good, Susan. She says hers should get to her on Monday or Tuesday. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's still in time. Yay. So I target shot. The first shot that I did, you know how if you have never gone bowling before and you go bowling with someone or you have someone who's never gone bowling, the moment that you go bowling with them, actually all of the above, Patricia. She says, silly question, but protection from people or wildlife, all of the above. I'm not expecting, and I really don't want to ever be in that situation, but you can tell a person to leave you alone, and you can do all of these other things that, human to human, you can understand, and I will absolutely be doing all of that first. That is absolutely what I intend to do. However, you can't really tell a buffalo to leave you alone and hope that it listens to you. Awesome, Susan. She says she told her daughter about winning it and she thought she was so awesome. Yeah, that is fantastic. That's fantastic. But yeah, so the course that I was taking, ooh, Katie, you need to send me some. She says she has cinnamon nut bread baking in the oven. Oh, by the way, Katie, yours went out this past Thursday. I do not know how long it's going to take to get to you, but your winning item got shipped on Thursday. I did make sure of that because I had to go in person because I knew I had to fill out customs and all of that because it wasn't just papers. But yeah, I filled out customs, and so your item is now shipped. So it is in the hands of other people other than me. But yeah, so my husband got to see me shoot. And he's former military, so he fully supports me learning how to use a weapon for my own protection. And he's also 20 years older than me, 19 years older than me. So he has repeatedly told me throughout the years that he expects me to outlive him. Well, if he's not here to protect me or take care of me, he wants me to be self-sufficient, which is really something I'm big on, is self-sufficiency. So that was the whole reason to go do all of that and get my, start the process to get my certificate, to get my, concealed carry. I still have to go through all the background checks and all of that. Haven't even started that yet. But my first shot was right on target. Like right on the target. All my others, like after that, I still hit the cardboard little target piece thing. Like she had like a cutout box that I was hitting. I was hitting the box, but not everything landed in the target area. So I'm not a good shot yet, but I at least know safety. And that was the main reason I was taking the course, is to learn all of that, so that I'm not, a danger to myself or anyone else. So I did that Friday and then spent all day Saturday in bed. It took everything out of me. Everything out of me. My dog did behave well. Susan says, I'm hoping that her daughter is named Mr. Bones, talking so much. Oh, yay! This Mr. Bones? That would be awesome. Danny over at So Not an Expert also has one now. She had hers talking earlier today. I was watching her. I managed to catch some of Tiffany. I didn't talk in Tiffany's chat. I caught a little bit of Ian. I don't think I talked in his chat. Who else did I catch? I watched Kathy from My Hobby Home today. Who else did I catch? Gosh. I watched so much YouTube today, guys. I have been in here so much time today. Susan says, yep, that one. Yay! He's so happy. He's so excited. I love him. I love him. My husband and I are going to go to a friend's house and go sit and hand out trick-or-treat candy on Halloween night. We don't get trick-or-treaters here at the apartment, and my husband and I have no excuse to dress up on Halloween day other than, I've got appointments that day, so we're giving ourselves an excuse to dress up. So I've got to fix his costume, and I'm going to dress up in my witchy costume with the hood because I can put layers underneath it and stay warm. Pam says, good for you, Tammy. I did range when I was in the Navy. Not sure my eyes would do well these days. What was really funny, and you guys know my personality. Lurking is acceptable today. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. I need that acceptability today, I tell ya. So after that first shot, I looked at my instructor and I said, did I really just hit that? And she said, yeah. I turned and found where my husband and dog were up on the hill. And, of course, I put the gun down. It was, safety and all of that. No, I didn't fix the glitter issue. The party that I was supposed to go to was supposed to be last night. And with me waking up not feeling well, I didn't do the live. I didn't go to the party. I didn't do anything. Susan says that she's watching Tiffany on the laptop and me on her phone. When Tiff is done, I'll switch you into the laptop. Awesome! Yay! I get swapped over to the laptop. I get upgraded. No, I haven't fixed the glitter issue with the wings. I do have the hairspray that I'm going to try using to fix it. So I'll still go ahead and try to fix them this year. But they're going to go back into storage until next year because I'm not going to have a chance to wear them. but at least I will have tried to fix them in advance. But, so yeah, I'm going to dress up in the witch costume because that one will be warm. I definitely can't be the Olympic synchronized swimmer. Not sitting outside on this Thursday because it's going to be chilly here. So I can't do that one. I did a lot of YouTube rewatching last few days. Yeah, I did not watch anything yesterday at all. I literally popped into Sean's to say that I wasn't feeling well and I wasn't going to go live. And I don't even remember if I typed anything into his chat. Like, I really could not tell you if I got the message across that I was not going to be live today. On yesterday. I have no idea. I have no idea if I even made it. Like, I was feeling that bad. I'm not feeling fantastic. Like, I wouldn't, like, try to overdo it right now. That would not be wise. But I am definitely feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. I did not even step foot into my studio except to turn lights on and off because I know how to turn my LED lights on and turn these lights to spooky colors because my husband was taking pictures from the outside. I mean, that's all I did. Oh no, Patricia. She said she had COVID last week, so she watched a ton of videos in bed. Oh, lacquer spray at Walmart in the craft area and thought, oh, I didn't get that. I got hairspray to try. The hairspray was like $3 for the can of it. And it is that, you know, the aerosol spray, the can, kind of like Aquanet was back in the day. Of course, I can't find Aquanet anymore. But it was something like that I got. I think it's Rave is the brand that I got, maybe. And of course I got the humidity control, like the 4X or 5X or whatever it says. I did. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Glenda. She said, you did. That's how I knew you weren't going live. Thank you. Yeah, no, I really could not have told you if I managed to make that or not. I honestly can't remember. I went back to bed and I got up about 11 and oh yeah, I agree, Laura. She says I'm sorry, Patricia. I hope you're feeling better now. I agree. Had Danny Sonatics before church, Ian when I got home, then off YouTube until Tiffany. Yeah, so mine much better today, but the worst cold symptoms ever. Oh no, Patricia. I'm glad you're much better today, but yeah. I'm glad it is not COVID for me, but I was definitely under the weather, not feeling fantastic. And I still think I need to take the next couple days easy, like not over push myself, but I definitely pushed myself today. Mainly because I have been out of my studio now for a day and a half and it was too much because I wasn't in my studio most of Friday, especially with going to the range and shooting, because as soon as I was done with that, I got a little bit of time in here, but it was a lot of body movement that I haven't learned, that I didn't grow up knowing how to do, especially the leaning forward and all of that kind of stuff that they want you to do for personal protection training. And like, so I was doing a lot of learning. I will put it that way. I was doing a lot of learning. What was I going to say? Tomorrow I'm supposed to be doing a sew thing, but I may be the only person there, and I'm kind of debating on to whether or not I go if I'm going to be the only person there, but sometimes people show up that don't put a comment in, so maybe somebody else will show up. Oh gosh, Susan, she says that her second bout of COVID was so much worse than the first time. Oh goodness. I am, Katie. Thank you. Yes. She says you're getting so close to that 500 mark. Yes. I was at 485, and I went to Danny's this morning, and then somebody else. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't remember who it was. I will have to link them, I think. But after one other channel that I watched today, like my subscriber numbers started jumping. And her channel, oh my gosh. All right, hang on. I gotta look now because that's gonna bug me. Like I was at 489 before the live started tonight. So let me see who it was that I subscribed to earlier today. Okay, it is Our Time to Quilt. So it's OUR space time space to space quilt. All words, not numbers or whatever. And I think her name is Martha, if I got it right. She has over 4,000 subscribers. She says she's passionate about quilting. She does a lot of art quilts. And it was kind of refreshing because I haven't really delved into art quilts in a really long time. And I'm not sure that I'm going to do like the project she's working on. Like, it's not my kind of cup of tea, so to speak. But it was definitely inspiring because then I started thinking about all the things I could be doing. And I will tell you, it is like, you know how quilting is so addictive, and seeing other projects is awful because you get so many ideas in your head. Yeah, I'm right there, like getting my getting the ideas going. And I really shouldn't be trying to get more ideas going, but her channel was definitely inspiring to watch some of it. And she kind of seems to have the same attitude that I do. That everybody else's works are very inspiring to her. So it's kind of like that, I feel. So I think there's a little bit of a kindred spirit thing going. My machine sounded funny for a minute. Ooh, welcome in, Confident Quilter Gladys. Thank you. Let's see, where am I missing? Patricia says, second round. Much worse this time. Oh, gosh. Feel for you. Oh, my gosh, I feel so bad for you guys. Katie says that her and Nikolai have not had COVID at all. That's awesome. Oh, yay. Glenda, she said she was up at 3 a.m. and finally got Lisa live. That might have to be how I do it, too. Yes, Susan, she says, the fun thing about things like that sparks your creativity. Yes, it really, really does. And I'm going to be in so much trouble because I'm going to have so many more ideas than what I can ever create. And it's going to get me into so much trouble. All right, so my thread just broke. So whatever I was hearing was legitimately an issue for whatever reason. And I don't know why. So we're going to find out. We're going to see what's going on. Chloe, right? She says, wow, that's early, Glenda. Chloe's saying, hoping Patricia feels better soon. Let's see. Yesterday we went to the Arizona State Fair. It was free to get in. We went in just to see the quilting and crochet. I was actually disappointed. They were good, but nothing that wowed us. So I have an application to apply to get on the board for the county fair. And I'm not sure if I think I can handle that much extra work. But it is on my to-do list of things to process over the next couple of days. Because the application is due November 8th. And there's a lot to the application. So I may be applying for being on the county fair board. So maybe I would have a little bit of help to say how our quilts are displayed. I don't know if it's going to be all political or if it's actually going to be worth being on the board or not. So if you guys want to, think about that for me, give me your feedback. I am taking feedback. I'm definitely taking feedback. Pam says she is sweet. Amy Dement's art quilts this weekend was very cool and colorful. Oh, I bet it was. I like Amy, but her channel does not captivate me the way that I wish it did. And I don't know if it's just the videos that I watched or I just haven't watched the right video. She's a fantastic creator. I just don't spend a lot of time on her channel. It's just not where she doesn't capture my interest, and I don't know why. I don't know what the connection is. Judy says that she has had this cold for about 3 weeks now. Oh no! She checked twice. It's not COVID. If I could get rid of this cough, I would be happy. Oh, I bet. Susan's asking Chloe how she is this evening. Laura says, Judy, my hubby had a cold and his cough lasted months. Yeah, and so my husband did too. Last year, when he got a cold, he got whatever I caught. I caught it first, and then he gave it to me. Or no, I gave it to him. And his cough lasted so stinking long. And I think I was just as aggravated by his cough as he was. I don't know. I don't remember how he finally got rid of his cough. Welcome in, Miss Kennedy. Welcome, welcome. She says, hello, Alabama and everyone. Let's see. Glenda says, my day and nights are really messed up with all these possums making the fur babies bark. Oh my gosh, Glenda. I bet. So I was actually telling someone earlier today that so Paladin was in here with me, and there were kids walking on the sidewalk down on the ground in front of the building, and he heard them talking and laughing, and he started barking. So what did I do? I turned around and put him outside so he could see the kids that he was barking at. He was not as impressed as I thought he would be. Oh, yes, Judy. She says, I hate to have it that long. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's see. Yeah, you guys need to stay well for me, you know? I need you guys here, so you guys need to stay well. It's all for me, right? It's all for me. No, I'm just kidding. I really do want you guys to be well. All right. So the first 3 rows were the top 3 rows. So they're going to have that light color sashing. Now this is actually going for the bottom of the row above it, but it's got to be attached to this row anyway. So we're going to go ahead and attach it here. We're not going to waste the extra time to, only attach it to the bottoms. We're going to go ahead and attach it to the top. And so I did cut these a little offset. So if you guys remember when I was putting these together, one of my ideas is that I was going to have the top rows kind of coming down so their ground wasn't that big, and then the bottom rows going up so their sky wasn't that big. And that's kind of what I did. It's not as dramatic as I thought it would be, as I thought I could make it. But I was trying to keep these blocks as large as I could, and they were 8.5 cut, so they're going to finish at 8 inches. Chloe says, I thought I would finish 2 quilt tops, but one of my rows is off by 1/8 of an inch, which is bugging me. Finishing my Boo Crew quilt top tonight. That's awesome! Welcome, Giovanna. She says a quick hello to everyone. Welcome. It's a long time no see. Okay, you were the person I was thinking of when I was watching this lady earlier today. Our Time to Quilt. If you've never seen her before, she is right. You are exactly the person I was thinking of when I was watching her channel. With her art quilts and all the other stuff she was working with. The live she was doing today, she was talking about making these paper beads out of junk mail that came in that she colored. She was using acrylic, or she's using paints on fabric. She was using all these different texture items to put on fabric to make an art quilt. And you were the person I was thinking about, Giovanna. You have that artistic touch, and you already work with those kinds of materials sometimes too. So Our Time to Quilt, that is a channel I would definitely say you need to go check out. I was over there and literally going, this is Giovanna's channel. She is exactly who I thought of, or you're exactly who I thought of when I was watching her. She's very inspiring, but I need another craft in my head, and doing art quilts, it would be another craft at this point. Chloe's asking Susan how she's doing. Susan says, I did spend some time yesterday quilting my haunted Halloween quilt. Haven't touched it today. No worries. Giovanna says that she has painted fabric as well. I have too. I haven't painted in a while, but I have painted. And she was also making thread bowls and quite a few different items. Like, she was making some stuffs. Like, I mean, and she didn't have, like, a whole lot of people watching her live. Like, when I was on there, I think maybe 20 people. Our time to quilt. Oh, let me see if I can type it in. Let me grab... Nope, the keyboard is way over there. Hang on, I've got my phone. Let me do it from my phone. That way you all can see it, too. I mean, for me to find something that is, like, off the charts, inspiring kind of thing, is crazy. So, let me go into tonight's live so I can... And let me also mute my phone. There we go. You guys won't hear me talking. Alright, let's see, our time to quilt. It's not a link, but that is the name of the channel that I was watching earlier today, where I was thinking of Giovanna. I mean, and it's painting. When I had to stop watching, it was because I was having to take the dog out, I think. Or maybe she got off, she only was on there for a little bit, but she was doing like an octopus or something. It was crazy. It was crazy. Zaza, hi everyone, just popping in for a bit. Welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, hang on. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, Patricia said that she started 2 Christmas quilts, but scrapped them both because not happy with the patterns. Oh no. Oh no. Pam says that she got her 2 quilt labels made on her Bernina embroidery. Big learning curve. Yes, it is a big learning curve. So I messaged my sister-in-law because I finished the quilting and the tacking of the edges so that I could trim the quilt for my sister-in-law. And so I got that done today, and I told my sister-in-law yesterday, I asked her if she had any ideas for her label, and if not, I would send her ideas today, and she didn't have any ideas yesterday. So I sent her some ideas today, and she really loved the first idea, but I had to adjust the number of years. When she originally handed me gave me these blocks, or sent them to me through her husband, my understanding is that these had been sitting there. You're fine, Giovanna. She says she's not going to bed lurking. Absolutely. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Or hit the thumbs down. One or the other. But yeah, she chose one of them, but I put 40 years that the cross stitch has been sitting waiting, and she corrected me that they've actually been sitting for 50 years. Which is longer than I've been alive. So I've been working with cross-stitch blocks that are older than I am. I already knew that. But they're significantly older than I am, which is pretty impressive. But we're making plans to hand deliver the quilts to Missouri. Oh, thank you, Giovanna. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're making plans to hand deliver them to Missouri. So that there's no chance that these irreplaceable blocks do manage to make it to their destination. I could not live with myself if I shipped them and anybody lost or damaged them before my sister-in-law got to see the quilts. Like if she lets the dogs on the quilt, or somebody else lets the dogs on the quilt, that is all on them and her and whoever else, and it is no longer my problem. But I want to make sure that she sees it first before anybody else. Welcome in, Rayanne. She says we have a couple of shop hop blocks that look like they are art blocks. Have you tried to do either one? No, I have not. No, I have not. I actually got my last shop hop block. By the way, welcome into the chat tonight. I did get my last shop hop block in on Friday? Thursday or Friday. It just came in. Literally just came in. So I haven't had my shop hop block, or the whole shop hop blocks, until this week. So I now have all 24. So now I could actually start, piecing them together without, having to worry that I'm missing any. Because now I won't be missing any. Let's see. I did miss. Okay, so let me go back up. And it's Patricia's that she started 2 Christmas quilts, but scrapped them both because she's not happy with the patterns. I am actually, when we get done with this, if we have time tonight, because we're still doing pretty good on time. Fairly good on time. Fairly good. I have cut and chiseled in red and green that's Christmassy. So like red with gold polka dots and greens. I guess. So we may end up working on that tonight too. Candace, she says, hello, Tammy and everyone. Welcome, welcome. Glad you made it. Glad you made it in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, we are at 25 viewers. I am so stoked. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. And that's just what my software is telling me. Was that blocks from Riverton? Yes. It was the one block from Riverton where she was sold out when I got there. And I don't know if she had previously shipped them to me. Awesome, Giovanna. I don't know if they had previously shipped them to me, but I had an issue with my address, and had to get rid of my mailing address and set up a P.O. box. So I emailed them and said, look, I don't know if you guys have shipped it already, but I haven't heard anything from you about shipping it. So here's the new address, when you guys get ready to ship. And they never contacted me, never emailed me that they were shipping it. Like, I have heard nothing from them except for the block showing up in my mailbox. So I think that was the impetus to tell them, hey, look, you haven't shipped these blocks that, we are supposed to have by the end of August. So yeah, it's, I finally have it. Zaza says that her mom and dad are having to clear out, so I'm hoping to get vintage embroidered linen that belong to my granny and grandpa, great-granny and granny. My great-granny and granny. There are some pretty ones I can put into a quilt. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the channel I was talking about earlier, Our Time to Quilt. Like I said earlier, I think the lady's name is Martha, so don't quote me. I am so stinking new to her channel. I just found her today. She happened to be live, and I was like looking for something to watch, and she did a sharing of what people had sent her via email to share. And one person, her husband had designed the tree trunk for the quilt, and she took all these lace doilies and made them into the blooms and branches, or blooms and leaves or whatever on the tree. Like, it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. I wonder how big it actually is. I didn't ask because I was in the middle of quilting and couldn't take my hands off of anything at the time when she was showing it. Yes, they are. Absolutely, Rayanne. Toby Laura, my daughter woke me an hour ago, and only now am I dozing. Oh my gosh, Giovanna. Oh my gosh. Now, when I fall back, that's gonna put me an hour further towards the morning for you. I'm so sorry. I can't control the government. Now, they are talking about, and I don't know how serious they are, they're talking about doing away with daylight savings here in Wyoming, but I don't know how serious they are. Like, if I had to bet, which I'm not going to bet, I'm not a betting person. I don't bet on anything, because I never win anything. But if I had to bet, I would bet that it's probably not going to go through, even though it would be really awesome if it did. So we didn't have to keep changing times every, fall and spring. But, it is what it is, I guess. Let's see, what else was new? Okay, those Christmas quilts. Is it that the patterns themselves are wrong, Patricia? Is that where, like, did they have you cut the wrong things, or something like that? I came across some patterns that, would be really good for different things. Ooh. Katie says that her cinnamon nut bread is out of the oven and pan and onto the cooling rack. Yay! Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I've actually got to, sometime this week, I've got to roast the pumpkin for the pumpkin pie. I have a white pumpkin. We did that this weekend. Yeah, you guys did. So right now it's an hour behind for you, and then we're going to fall back another hour. Katie says that they don't do time changes either in Greenland. Yeah, I wish we didn't. Arizona's kind of lucky in that. They talk about getting rid of daylight savings time here every couple of years. It's a pain, but being this far north, it does make a difference. Yeah, it actually does. So how far north are you, Zaza? Because I'm in Wyoming. Katie says it really doesn't matter here since we are going to lose a lot of light in the winter anyway. Yeah, we lose a lot too. Susan says 4 years ago, Washington voted to stay on daylight savings time all year, just waiting for the feds to okay it. Awesome. Yeah, it would be kind of a holdout, kind of like Arizona is. Because if Oregon and California don't agree to it, then I don't know why it's such a mess. You're in Scotland. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Yeah, I think you're about as far north as I am. If I had to hazard a guess, without looking at a globe, and looking at the coordinates. When I was looking at coordinates the other day, because I was looking at coordinates to go to the range, we were north 42. So the 42 line north, I believe, because it was, I think it was 106 west is where I was going, something like that, or 106, wherever, horizontal, something like that. Patricia said the patterns look great on paper, but once it started, it just doesn't do it for me. One was on point, didn't look good with the fabric I had. Oh no. Well, you can always orphan block it. Have you gotten that far, like where you've got the blocks, or is it just the cut pieces don't look good? Because we're all here, we can help. We can help as much as we can. Katie says she didn't mind the time change in Florida, though. Don't like going to school in the dark and then sending my kids to school in the dark. Yeah, I understand that. Chloe's asking where in Scotland. It does help balance the light in the summer. Yeah, it does. It must be weird if you live in one state but work in another that doesn't change, or vice versa. Oh my gosh, yes. That would be crazy. And there's enough of the west coast of Washington. Zaza says near Edinburgh. Please tell me if I butcher your name. Please tell me. Doing a sampler. That's perfect idea, Patricia. That would be a fantastic idea. I mean, you were here for that 16-month quilt where I was fixing all of those different blocks. Because when I was fixing those different blocks and making them all the same size and just putting all those blocks together, just alternating, worked really, really well. Laura says, Zaza, my husband and I want to travel to Scotland. I'm about 40% Scottish. I am actually, I'm Scottish and English. I don't know what percentages. I've never gotten a DNA test. But my dad's family is Scottish, and I think my mom's family is English, technically. Then I married into an Irish family. So, I'm not currently with an Irish family. My husband's family is Scottish as well. We would love to go to Scotland, but that's out of our price range. Traveling is like that is out of our range. It is pretty over there. I agree with Chloe. I would love to go see. I would love it, love it, love it. My biggest challenge would be I would have to probably leave the dog because of the way international service dog law works. It would be just a pain. Katie says that she has Scottish DNA too. Awesome. Oh, I don't pronounce the G at the end. Okay. I will work on it. I will work on it. So Edinburgh. Or not, okay, nope, can't do it right now. I'm from the South. Pam says when she was in South Dakota, the time change line was over a river. Lived on one side and worked on the other. Apple phone drove me nuts, so I figured out how to not auto-update. Both towns used Central. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Candace says that her great-great-grandfather was from the Isle of Skye in Scotland. Awesome. Laura says that she always thought she was more Irish, but her husband has done a lot of research, and it's actually Scottish. She also has the English heritage from the Cornwall area. Awesome. So, I have not done my dad's family tree far enough back. We did my husband's family tree because he was very interested in seeing if we could find any living relatives of his dad's. Not sure that we have anybody we can reach out to. We found maybe a couple people, but it's not everybody who would know the questions that he has for the family has already passed on. So most of the answers he would be looking for are buried already. But when we were tracing it back, we could actually trace back and find an address in Scotland, I believe, for where his family originated from. Let's see. There's a town in the Midwest that straddles time zones. Morning News did a story about the confusion it causes new residents. Oh my gosh, I believe it. Chloe says that she's been to most of Ireland, some Scotland, and to England twice. Oh. Giovanna says she's a stew of nations. Oh my goodness. Well, you've lived all over, Giovanna. It just serves you right that you would have the ability to claim anything and everything that you want. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Let's see. Isle of Skye is beautiful. Edinburgh. Okay. Is that right? Edinburgh? Is that close enough? Let's put it that way. Is that close enough? Susan, that very well could. Oh, yeah, it definitely could be Pier. It's not Pier, it's Pier. I have visited them. And we were there for a bit because my husband was calling baseball games. So, got to get used to the locals. Yay! Awesome! My maternal great-grandmother was from Edinburgh. Awesome! Yay! Let's see. On my mother's side, English, paternal grandmother's side, Scottish and Irish, paternal grandfather, Norwegian. Could you imagine if all of these people could get together, like, back then? And, like, back, when all these countries were warring with each other? Could you imagine how much heck it would cause to have this much lineage all in one individual person because all these families intermingled? That would definitely not be the case. Welcome in, Kathy. Welcome. We were talking about you earlier. I watched your live earlier, or your video earlier today. Katie says that her DNA consists of England and Northwestern Europe, Germanic Europe, Scotland, Denmark, Ireland, Wales, Cameroon. Awesome. Giovanna's got Italian, French, and English, and who knows, born in Kenya, being African for 9 generations. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you definitely got that right. You were the stew of all of the nations. You got all of the parts and pieces. You got all of them. Alright, so I'm sewing the bottom 2 rows together in case you guys are wondering where I'm at with this. Oh, still struggling. Yeah, I bet, Kathy. I bet. You weren't the only one who was under the weather yesterday. I was out of it. Oh my gosh, I was out of it. I was, like I was saying earlier tonight, I was awake for maybe 8 hours yesterday, and that was about it. I did go out for a little bit and went fabric shopping with a friend and came home. And I mean, I wasn't contagious or anything like that, but oh my gosh, I was not my normal chipper, happy, go lucky, everything else that I normally am. I was definitely under the weather. And then when we got home, I was at 8 o'clock, I was right back in bed. Definitely right back in bed. Kathy says that she slept most of the day and now prepping to do her update video. Awesome. Yeah, we need the update. We need the update. Yeah, I didn't do my live yesterday. Did not do the party last night that I was supposed to go to. I am not one to typically stay in bed, but you know, I was ready to crawl back in bed at 7:30. Fabric shopping picks you up. Yeah, it did. It did. I didn't buy anything. It was amazing. I did not buy a thing. I wanted to. I thought, no, I take that back. I did buy something. I bought a pattern, and it is from a lady out of Story, Wyoming. So a local, and I did not check yet to see whether or not she's still in business or anything like that. It's one of those patterns where you can do it yourself, but I figured that the pattern would make it easier. And I'm not sure that the pattern is necessarily going to make it easier because of the way it was written. But I'll read through it again when I'm not so groggy. Oh no, Kathy. She says at this point, I don't know what I am, contagious or not. It's been 2 weeks now, 2 doctor's visits, chest x-rays, and multiple antibiotics and steroids, which is not a good thing for your blood sugar. No, it is not. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it. She says, I really appreciated that you posted that you were not well. I was lifting you up in prayer. Thank you so, so much. That really does mean a lot to me. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my last live of 2024 on a Saturday. And here I am canceling on you guys because I just don't know if I can handle that and going to a party. Because I just was not feeling fantastic. And I, very shortly after I posted that, I realized I wasn't going to the party either. I realized, nope, I'm done. I'm done. But I've gotten a lot accomplished today. Like, I didn't even get in here at all yesterday, but I did get a lot accomplished today. One thing I was going to say, Kathy, is if they are swapping you antibiotics, if they don't know what infection you have, see if they can treat you without antibiotics. Because antibiotics do tank your digestive system a little bit if you're not taking the stuff to fix your digestive system back up, like probiotics or whatever. I actually can't take antibiotics because they put me on multiple rounds in a row when I was a teenager, and I ended up catching a secondary infection that was basically because all the antibiotics I'd been on had caused my digestive system to shut down. So I'm always cautious if they're saying multiple different antibiotics. Now, everybody's body reacts differently, so I will say that. So please don't assume that I'm saying that yours will. But if they can't figure out what antibiotic to put you on, see what options they would do if you couldn't take them. Like if you didn't want to take antibiotics. And just see if there's a way that they can get you over whatever it is without doing all the other stuff to your body. Since you got a doctor's appointment coming up. The worst part was that she had a commitment to go to Boo at the Zoo with both of her grandbabies. Been on probiotics since I had the video or the COVID in 2021. Oh, gotcha. I do, Katie. She's asking if anyone wants a slice of cinnamon nut bread. Okay, so if you want to send the recipe to It's Kennedy, she's a fantastic baker. Ooh, Rayanne, you're a good baker too. If Rayanne and It's Kennedy are still in the chat, they are fantastic bakers, so you can send the recipe to them, and that will get it to me. I'm so selfish. Kathy says, took us a year to realize that antibiotics and steroids were the cause of vitamin and mineral absorption issues. Yes, absolutely. Laura says, I'm allergic to most antibiotics. They rarely prescribe them for me, and I absolutely can't take steroids. I have a terrible reaction to steroids. Yeah, agrees. She's like, yes, please, Katie, right? So when I was a teenager, and again, this is back years before they knew what it was. A week without antibiotics, it got really bad. Okay, gotcha. So you guys have already tried that. Katie says without steroids it would have died a long time ago. Yeah. Everybody's body is so different. So what ended up happening is before they knew what it was and how to treat it, I ended up catching C. diff. If you guys have never heard of C. diff, it is your gut is so depleted of the good bacteria due to taking antibiotics that you have none left to treat anything. Like your gut has no bacteria, no good, no bad, no nothing, is my understanding. And the problem is the only treatment that they have for it, I have never been in a home environment where anybody else who ever takes, Ryan says, lol, don't bake very much anymore. I hear ya. So they can take a sample from another household member that doesn't have gut issues, and put that in your body to treat your C. diff, so that you actually have the bacteria that you need. And it has to be somebody who eats the same diet and all of that. Well, everybody that I have ever lived with, since that diagnosis and since they have come up with a treatment for it, because that's the key, is because they didn't have a treatment when I was a teenager. Everybody that I have lived with that would be technically compatible on all the other levels for, helping fix my gut bacteria, has gut issues of their own and do not qualify. So I live with it regardless, because I don't live with someone who can fix the issue for me. Giovanna says I hardly ever take medication. I wish I could say the same. I take one every morning and one every night. Me too, Katie. I've had sepsis 5 times since I was, oh gosh, that's rough. It's very rough. Kathy says that she was 20 years off any steroids due to glaucoma suspect, and in 2021 that was all that could help save me when I had COVID. Now I have a plethora of lung issues. Oh my gosh. Okay, I saw the comment, I think, Judy, about the transplant. Yeah, that's what they won't give me because I don't have anybody that can donate. If I saw the comment right before it, like, you took it back down. The comment was there and now it's not. I think you took it down. If you didn't take it down and Nightbot did something without telling us, let me know. So here's a question for you guys. And this is my little card for the night. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Oh, welcome in, Mona. Good you're up this late. Thank you. If you have C. diff, they can put you on a round of Flagyl. Yeah, they did do that too. It still didn't fix it. But if they put me on anything, they can put me on antibiotics for 5 days. I used to be able to... Oh, you took it down. Okay. Yeah, they used to be able to put me on antibiotics for 7, but now I am down to 5 days. So they try to do everything that they can aside from prescribing me oral antibiotics. Now, if I was in the hospital and being on IVs and all of that, they could definitely do IV antibiotics. And that would not tank my gut as quickly, but it's going through the gut that issues. Sorry to hear about many health issues. Sending prayers. Yeah. Okay, we need to change topics, you guys, because, yeah, let's do some encouraging stuff. All right. As I sew a very crooked seam, and we're going to see how well it looks later. It was very crooked. It was very, very crooked. So we'll see if it looks okay when I get done. Katie says that she's happy to report that she wasn't too sick from either vaccination she got. Oh, yeah, that's right. She's glad she chose to do them a week apart this summer. Yeah, you didn't do too well with doing them right on top of each other last time, so it's good that you were able to do the week apart. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, they won't even give me that. They won't even give me Flagyl. It's, they just avoid everything. They give me, a short course of steroids, and usually my body picks up the rest. So, that's how they're doing it. Kathy says that she would live somewhere in the mountains on a large plot of rich land where I could grow food and flowers. Well, that is not Casper. You'd get the mountain, but you would not get the rich food land. You'd have to do a greenhouse. Let's see. Katie says that's a great idea, Kathy. Yes, agreed. Very much agreed. I'm already bummed because the place that I like to go up on the mountain is already closed for the season. Like the little park is closed for the season. So if I go up on the mountain now, it's going to be, just what I can do. Giovanna says that she doesn't do vaccines. Yeah, I mean, for some people they are lifesavers. For others, it takes a lot out. I can't do flu vaccine or the flu shots. I don't know if I can do the pneumonia ones yet, but I haven't done them. I haven't had problems yet either, so they haven't been recommended to me, but I definitely can't do the flu ones, because every year I get them, I actually get the flu. Everybody living with the vaccines. Some help, some don't. Susan says, where do I want to live and why? Might just have to say Tucson because our cold winter is about 40 to 50 degrees warmer than winter here. Oh yeah, probably is. I would say that it most likely is 40 to 50 degrees warmer. Kathy says that I was telling my daughter the only thing they hadn't prescribed yet was alcohol, and at this point it may be an option. Okay. So you can't do this one because of the diabetes or the sugar issues. And because all the medication you're on, you can't do it anyway. When my husband had a long-lasting cough while we lived in Alabama, my dad gave him the old remedy that he was taught to do when he was, or was given to him when he was little to fix his cough. And it was soaking rock candy in a jar with whiskey. And then you take a spoonful of once the rock candy completely dissolves, you take a spoonful of the whiskey every night to soothe your cough so you can go to bed. The first time my husband tried it, his face was hilarious. Judy says that she did the flu shot, and that's when I got the cold and this darn cough. Yeah, I can't do the flu shot at all. Flu especially, and it's the same thing that happens to me. I get it. Yeah, at one point, the only way that I could tell my employer, because I work for Walgreens, and you can't be technically allergic to the flu shot, according to the staff there at the time that I was dealing with. I don't know if they've wisened up. I would assume that they have, but we had to use an egg allergy. We had to put an egg allergy into my chart so that they knew that I couldn't have the flu vaccine because there is egg used in the flu vaccine. And I don't know if that's still the way that it's done now, but that's what we had to use. And that's what we suspected for the longest until we've now figured out it's just autoimmune. It's just autoimmune. The cold toddy, yeah, it's probably what it is. Okay, let's see. Chloe says that she likes the seasons, but less winter. Spring and fall are my preferred seasons. I don't blame you. I wish they'd offer a pneumonia vaccine here, but they don't, so I'll always be at risk for that, says Katie. Yeah, absolutely. Cure for when you get in a funk. Love it. Did the initial 3 COVID ones, but since 2020 I haven't done any more. They didn't give me the COVID ones because of my reaction to flu vaccines. And since they didn't know why I was reacting to the flu vaccines at the time, they couldn't give me that either. Now that we know it's autoimmune, I would have had a reaction to the COVID vaccine as well. Cinnamon candies and Black Label Jack. Ooh. Tom might actually like that version better. Let's see. Pneumococcal vaccines. Yeah, there are a lot, Chloe. You're right. Whiskey and honey and hot tea. Yes. I could totally do that one. That one would be my thing. I do like some whiskey. I don't drink it very often, but I do drink whiskey. Let's see. Husband does hot tea with honey and brandy for his cough. Yeah, brandy's about the same. I don't know which one has more bite. I think whiskey has a bigger bite to it than brandy, but it's same principle. Same principle. Without insurance in the U.S., that particular vaccine is super expensive. Yes, it is. All of them they're crazy expensive. It is all about big pharma in that respect, which is really, really sad. Due to when I was exposed to COVID, says Susan, I can say with certainty the COVID shot wasn't responsible for me catching it. That's awesome. I just, like I said, they didn't know when they were starting to issue the COVID vaccines. I went to my primary care and said, look, you know, we've already determined, and you have it in my chart, that I can't get the flu vaccine. Is there any reason that you think that I should even be attempting to get a COVID vaccine? And he said, absolutely not. Since we don't know why you can't take the flu vaccine other than you get sick, we're not giving you the COVID vaccine. It's like, okay, that works. Whiskey makes Giovanna sick, even the smell. I believe it. No, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. Sometimes the smell hits me wrong. Like, if I'm not feeling good, you can't give me whiskey. I cannot tolerate it. I am a ginger ale and Sprite and 7-Up, like those kinds of, the lemon lime soda type person. That and saltines. If I have a fever, you better be giving me saltines and or Ritz crackers and lemon lime soda or ginger ale. Cinnamon schnapps and tea with honey. Ooh, he might go for that one too. I'll have to keep these in mind. He's not sick right now, knock on wood, that he stays that way. But yeah, definitely need some remedy options for if he's not feeling fantastic. Good night, Zaza. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Guys, we have 30 viewers. I'm so stoked. This is fantastic. You guys are just rocking my channel out. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot thank you guys enough. Let's see. Kathy says, if anyone has any good hot herbal teas to suggest, I'm up for suggestions. I prefer to go non-medicated way of ridding myself of colds. I think my body is rebelling because I was doing so well. The only tea I usually drink, other than caffeinated or English breakfast tea, is I will drink Sleepy Time Plus. And I don't drink it because it has like magical healing properties, but because it will actually put me to sleep. Mona says echinacea tea. Starbucks medicine ball saved me this week, says Patricia. Ooh, I hadn't heard of that one. Mona says vitamin C. Yeah, vitamin C is a good one. Vitamin C is a good thing to be taking, especially before you get sick, because it'll boost you before you have the problems of not being well. I had the one-shot COVID vaccine and was down for about 10 days. I never had a booster. I don't blame you, Laura. I don't blame you one bit. I did not get any of them. My husband got a shot and then got a booster. I think he had the Pfizer one. Don't quote me. I think that's what he had. Patricia is recommending peach tea, mint tea, sugar-free lemonade mix, and honey. Ooh. Zaza says, Kathy, lemon and ginger tea with vitamin C. Ooh. Those are sounding good. I have my caffeine though. I'm not needing the tea right now, but those are sounding good. You guys are gonna have to give me suggestions if I catch anything this season. I'm gonna come here. Like, I'm not even gonna go to Dr. Google. I'm gonna come here and get on here and go, guys, help me with tea suggestions. That is totally what I'm gonna do. You know that, right? There's a bunch of Septra drugs that I can't take. Makes me sicker than a dog. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's not cool. Giovanna says, Kathy, make ginger, cloves, cinnamon, cardamom tea with green tea and honey. Ooh, that sounds really good too. That really does. So that doesn't just sound healthy and healing. That sounds really tasty. I'm not usually a green tea person. I do like red tea. I'm a rooibos person. Let's see. Kathy says, I'm writing all these down long. That sounds delicious, right? Giovanna says it'll pick you up really well. You can reboil it multiple times by adding water. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have a Keurig and I have a kettle, like an electric kettle to do all mine. That's how I do a lot of mine. I do have actual teapots. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I know what I'm doing for Christmas. I'm going to bring you guys out my teapots. And we will brew some tea. And we will sit and we will talk while I drink some tea. We're going to do a tea party for Christmas. How does that sound? You guys want to do a tea party for Christmas? Not because we need to, but just because we want to. Ooh, Kathy says it sounds like it would smell like Christmas to me. Ooh, probably would. Probably would. I have not done a tea party in so long. So at Thanksgiving dinner and at Christmas dinner, I actually do a full service tea set. I think it's Kennedy, you would remember if you, I don't know, I think I did it at Thanksgiving last year. But I do the little milk in the little creamer container. Yes, love the idea of a tea party. Oh my gosh. I have some tea kettles and such. I love a good tea party. I love a good tea party. The wonderful neighbors here brought me some wonderful teas while I had COVID. Wish I remember what they were. I love loose tea. It's also good for pain. Ooh, yay. Yeah, Kathy, send me that list. Oh, all right. So I have all the rows together. I'm going to press them. And we are going to add side borders onto it. So that's what we're waiting on now, is we're going to put side borders onto this. It's looking fantastic, guys. It's looking fantastic. All right. So let me put this down and get this pressed. You know what? I'm going to press it from the front. I always drink my tea with milk. I add creamer to my English breakfast tea. And I actually have sugar cubes. They're insanely hard to find, but I actually keep the cubed sugar on my coffee and tea bar so that I always have it when I want to do tea that way. Oh, Kathy, she says we wore Sunday dresses, white gloves, and hats. Awesome! Awesome! She hasn't been to a tea party since she was little. Her great aunt taught us girls how to be proper ladies. Oh, that is fantastic. So there is a place up here that does like tea parties and such, but I haven't been to one here since we moved up here. And I really want to go, but it's definitely something that it's better when you go with friends. Absolutely better. I don't drink milk and anything yuck. It's like a little bit. It is a splash. That is all it is. I don't add more than a splash. Good night, Mona. Thank you for being here. She says night all. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I add just a splash of milk. I love it, Laura. She says, Giovanna took a screenshot of your tea. If it works for pain, I will definitely try it. I'm right with you, Laura. I'm right with you. And we are finally getting cold enough weather this week for me to start drinking tea. I cannot drink hot drinks during hot weather. Like, it just does not, I cannot do it. But I definitely, oh my gosh, I did get to go to a tea party. It was my Christmas present from my husband. He paid and he scheduled a tea party. And my stepdaughter and I and a friend of ours all went. I was the one who had the most fun. But my stepdaughter and I both got mugs or cups from our tea party. And so we had, at Christmas that year, we had our teacups at the table. It was fantastic. Kathy says that her daughter's best friend has tea parties for groups of people. She is like a party planner. Awesome! Last time I had a specialty, Susan says, was in high school. Went to Victoria, British Columbia with a girls' service group. High tea at the Empress Hotel. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Giovanna, she says she really should go to sleep is 4:16 a.m. and no sleep. And it's like, oh no. Well, I will be getting off of here in 45 minutes. So you have 45 minutes to fall asleep. We will understand. We will understand. Laura will take a bit to start working. Yeah, it probably would. I would imagine. Most herbal remedies are not instant successes. But yeah, if it's something that you add to your routine, it should help. Now I will say this, and this is especially for you, Kathy, because we were talking about tea for you. If you are adding honey to your tea, please, 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 please buy local honey. Don't buy the crap on the shelf at Walmart. And that is what it is. It is crap. It is ultra processed. Go find a little farmer's market. Buy the local honey. The most local you can get. The local honey is going to be more conducive to the healing because you are going to be getting the local bees have created your local honey. So the antibiotic benefits and all of the health benefits of honey. If you are using honey, please buy your local honey. Wherever it is local for you, buy the local stuff. I have a local honey provider, a friend of the family, about 15 miles from me. Perfect. I got a jar, like pint jar or quart, or I don't know how big. Like it's a huge jar. Raw honey for sure. Yes, if you absolutely can, get raw. But they actually have bees and, have produce honey. And so last year I got the jar of honey and I have not gotten through it. Giovanna says, and never use a metal spoon. I have heard that. And if it's the processed honey, it won't matter. If it is processed honey, it will not matter if you use a metal spoon. But if it is not processed, yeah, using a wooden spoon or using a container that does not have any metal in it would be preferable. It would be preferable. The thought is that when honey touches a metal surface like stainless steel or something, that it does actually lose some of its antibiotic properties. So yeah, whenever possible, but if it's the ultra processed stuff, it doesn't matter. It's already touched so many surfaces by the time it gets to you. You're not gaining anything by worrying about a metal spoon. But if you're buying local, yeah. Kathy says, oh no, I have the wooden ball thing that I use, or either just pour until my heart's content. Yeah, plastic and wood is fine. Raw local honey is the best. Yes, it is, Judy. Yes, it absolutely is. So what I do is I actually bought a fancy dispenser. We bought honey at our local farmer's market. That's awesome. That's exactly what you need to do. It always needs to be local. I mean, you can always ask them where their honey is sourced from. Because some of them, they'll source it from 50 to 100 miles away because it's cheaper than the local stuff. So just keep that in mind. Welcome in, Jen. I think first time I've seen you in my chat. Welcome. Glad you're here. She says her nephew is a beekeeper and he gifts me with a quart of honey every Christmas. So good. Oh yeah, absolutely. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. All right. So before we add the side borders on, and I think we'll have just enough time to add the side borders, so I probably won't even get to Christmas today, but that's okay. That's okay. I wasn't expecting that we would necessarily get to it, but I wanted to have it in case we did. So let me set that off to the side. And let me get this out of the way. Kathy says only drawback, honey is still bad for blood sugar, so I have to be very careful with how much I use. Yes, you do. But it does process slightly slower. Well, good night, Judy. She says night all. Good night, good night. It does process a little bit slower than plain sugar, like processed sugar. Even though it's not fantastic. All right, let me grab you guys off of this this camera thing so I can show you guys. And before we add the next borders on. All right, let's get it up here. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I apologize for the bad lighting. So this bat is dead center. Dead. It's center of the quilt. So what I'm going to do is the dark borders on the sides of the center row is where I'm going to match my side border dark up to. So these strips over here, I've already pieced them together. I'm going to move that for a second. So we've got 5 rows of 5 blocks. So all I'm going to be adding is a side border here and a side border here, and that's going to compensate for the borders we added at the top and bottoms. So if you guys can see, the bottoms have bigger ground and the tops have bigger sky. The top 2 rows have bigger sky. Okay, so that's how far we've gotten so far. Let's see, Laura says the honey we buy is usually raw and orange blossom flavored from a local farmer. He also has wonderful produce. Awesome! Yay! Susan says, unfortunately I don't like honey. Only time I can use it is with a shot of whiskey. Yeah, so my stepdaughter said she didn't like honey. Like, she said she didn't. And, like, we couldn't get her to eat anything that was advertised as having with honey. Like, you could not get this child to even attempt to taste something with honey because she didn't like honey. And we got her, I don't remember why we got it for her. We got her something, and I think it was for her to take to her mom or something. And it had honey, or had real honeycomb in it. She took it home and she ate some of it and absolutely fell in love with honey. Absolutely fell in love with it. Rayanne says, that looks wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy, one thing that doesn't affect blood sugar is coconut oil. Is very good for the brain. Awesome. You guys are saying it's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. Beautiful. Yes. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for supporting me in all this. All right. So this is my center point. So this is going to line up with that center rose sashing. So let me get this lined up and you guys can come back over so you will see it. Let me get this camera lined back up so I'm not making you guys sick, because that is not my intention tonight. No making my subscribers sick. That's not cool. we already have enough going on. We do not need additional from Tammy moving a camera. Alright. So, alright, here we go. We are going to line this up. Alright, so that seam is actually pressed down, so I'm going to press this one up real quick. Let me grab my iron. Kathy says that she does use coconut oil a lot. Sometimes just eat a spoon of it to kill a craving. Ooh, I've never thought about doing that. That has never been on my bucket list. And I was vegan for a while, so coconut oil was definitely in my repertoire of things that I used a lot of, but I never once thought of it that way. I don't know why. I don't know if there's something about it that I never thought of. I don't think I actually even have coconut oil now, though. We don't typically use it in any of our cooking now. Let's see. Susan says that she may have to brew some chamomile tea. Absolutely. Michelle the quilter, beautiful quilt. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to my chat this evening. Let's see. What are some good ways to cook with coconut oil? Don't Google this one. If you cook, what was it? There was a meme going around, and I don't know where it came from, so please do not shoot the messenger. There was a video going around of if you add coconut oil into your pan before you add the spinach into the pan, it makes it easier to throw the cooked spinach into the trash. So don't hate me for that, but I did see that and I did laugh. Because I can totally see somebody like my husband doing that. That would be my husband's reaction. But you can cook with coconut oil to replace some of the other oil options. I wouldn't replace like vegetable oil with it necessarily. A lot of Indian dishes cook with coconut milk and coconut oil. So those dishes that tends to be something that they rely on versus cow's milk, or vegetable oil. That tends to be their source of their oils that I've seen. I'll put it that way. Let's see. Where I'm at. Kathy says our local health food store has these things they call honey bites, and they're locally sourced honeycombs cut up in 1-inch squares. They're delicious. Yes, they are. We have here, like, we do have one, like, health food store. I haven't been in there much. One of my favorite things to get when I see them are the little honey tubes. The little packaged tubes with flavored honey in them. If you are somebody who wants to try some medicinal something or other, if it is packaged in honey, it is a very easy way to take it, to see what your reaction to it is. You can take a teaspoon in the morning. It has no taste at all, so it goes down very well. Jen says coconut oil makes a great moisturizer. Yes, it does. Absolutely does make a great moisturizer. I don't think I could tolerate the spoonful of it. That would not be something that I could personally tolerate. But that is not to say that it's not a healthy option for you. Kathy says, I've used coconut oil and no-cook energy oatmeal bites. We don't use any seed oils at all due to they are poison according to some health gurus. We cook with avocado oil. Ooh, okay. That makes sense. Coconut and olive oil are the only oils that don't give bad cholesterol. Yeah, I primarily use, if I cook, I primarily use olive oil. And the little spritzer that we use, we only put olive oil in it. We don't put vegetable oil in it. We do have vegetable oil in the house, but we don't cook with oil very much at all. My husband has learned to use the air fryer, and so he doesn't use oil a whole lot, which is fantastic. So I don't know the health benefits necessarily, but, you know, I'm not having to cook, so I'm not complaining. I know that's a bad way to look at it, but it is what it is. Alright, so I've got a lot left over on the edges of these, and I already knew that I would, but I knew I wasn't going to have enough to do the whole second one, so that's fantastic still. Alright, so I'm going to just rough cut this off. And I'll rough cut the other side, and then we are going to also do the other side, the other half. We don't get avocado oil here, says Giovanna. Yeah, I don't know that I started seeing avocado oil until maybe the early 2000s, maybe. I don't think I remember ever seeing it before then. Avocado oil has a higher heat point than olive oil and has less taste. Yes, that I agree with, definitely. It does have less taste than coconut oil, or than olive oil. Sorry, olive oil. But I have not cooked with avocado oil in a really long time. My husband is not one of those who is willing to try that kind of stuff, and I don't do a lot of cooking, so it is what it is. Let's see. It's fabulous to use the sad thing here in the States. Most oils we get here are already rancid on the shelves. Yeah, they are. We got to talk about food again. Okay, so this week I will be roasting my pumpkin. I bought a white pumpkin. It is a pie pumpkin, but usually I try to get one of the white pumpkins before Halloween because they are just the right size and they're just the right sweetness. In order to do pumpkin pie. So I will roast my own pumpkin. I've got the cheesecloth, so I will drain it and strain it and all of that kind of mess. So that I get my puree, my pumpkin puree. It will go in the freezer long enough to keep it good until Thanksgiving. And then I make my crust from scratch. And what else do I do? All of my ingredients are scratch. I do not use purchased pumpkin pie spice. I make my own seasoning. Like all of my I use packaged seasoning. Like I'll buy, I don't buy a package of, you know what I mean. I measure it out of the container, but I don't I don't buy a spice mix. I mix my own. I mix my own variety. And I think I almost have everything I need for it this year. So we'll know shortly. But you guys will get pictures of my pumpkin pie if you like. Kathy says, yum, I want to roast some pumpkin seeds this year. Ooh, I would love for somebody to roast me some pumpkin seeds. Roast and salt them. I don't have, by the time I get done roasting the pumpkin, I really don't have the time, the energy to roast the seeds. It's usually where my problem is. Patricia says that she used coconut oil to make her keto peanut butter cups. Oh, delicious. Awesome. Let's see. It's mostly butter and ghee that she uses, that Katie uses. Keep a bag in my freezer all the time. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Where am I at? I'm about to make some ghee hopefully next week. Can you tell me what spices you use? Then I'd have to kill you, Giovanna. No, I can. Give me a minute to sew this, and I will pull my recipe up. I won't tell you all the measurements, but I will tell you the basic spices that I use. Yeah. And I like I said, I do literally everything from scratch. I don't use prepackaged pumpkin. I don't, none of my stuff is prepackaged. Is the best way to put it. All right, I'm not happy with this. Let me rip out just a little bit and get back to where I was, that I was happy with it. I only have like 2 inches that I'm not happy with. I was veering off a little bit. The quilt is getting a little heavy. All this embroidery. And my seams, or the edges of my blocks don't line up exactly. So, yeah. It was pulling plus just the spice. Okay, yeah, I could do that. Let's see. Really wanting to clear out the butter from our freezer and make it more shelf stable. Hurricane Helene has made me rethink how I'm storing food. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We carved pumpkins today. Toss the seeds. Maybe next time we will toast some pumpkin seeds. Yes. That's a fun way to use up the last little bits of it. Now granted, especially if you toss them outside where wildlife can get to them, you'll have pumpkin vines growing up, which is fantastic. But it's really a great activity to do as well, is to roast them. I did not ever grow up knowing that you could cook a pumpkin. Like, I thought you had to buy it, because why would we cook the pumpkins that we carved? Like, nothing about it made sense to me. Like, I was raised city. I was definitely raised city. So I did not know much, but I have learned through the years a little bit. And I picked up a little bit here and there. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that. But yeah, toasting pumpkin seeds does sound like fun. I just couldn't do it. Susan says that she made shepherd's pie yesterday. Her daughter loved it and must say it was pretty darn good. Awesome! Katie says she wishes she could pass the smell of coconut oil, but she can't. And avocado oil smells just as bad. My problem with coconut oil is my dad is actually allergic to coconut. And now, granted, he doesn't react to coconut oil in something. Like, that is not a major reaction. It's not like anaphylaxis reaction. But he is definitely allergic to coconut. And he used to love those, like, coconut bar things. But he can't eat them because coconut. So I've actually developed a distaste for coconut. And it is really a hard smell. Once you can pick it, it is a hard smell to not struggle with. So that may be another reason we don't use. I mean, I can handle coconut milk because it's not as strong of a smell. Let's see. Susan says that she's with you on that, Katie. Talking about pies, Kathy says, I had a request from one of my children for a pie that I didn't think they would remember, but I'd like an apple butternut squash pie. Ooh. I might need that recipe, Kathy. I cannot get my husband to eat butternut squash, but I love butternut squash. I love it. But if I could sneak it into something, that would be just fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic. You know, for the Christmas tea party, I should totally have my husband do little petit fours and, you know, little tea cake type things for me to have here. Giovanna says that she's had lost power 3 times in the last year and a half. Oh my gosh. Chloe's asking whether or not it's for long periods of time. Kathy says that they lose power in the summer here on a daily basis. If a storm knocks it out, it could be out for days. Ouch. Nope. I'm done. Nope. Not doing that. I could not do that. Katie says it's weird, but we don't here in Giovanna, I guess because we're on hydropower with a backup ship size generator. It rarely happens. Even though it may not have a taste, Giovanna, I can pick up a smell on coconut oil, so that's probably what Katie's picking up too. It's not a strong smell. It's not a like overpowering fish smell or something like that. It's not like that, but there is a smell to it. At least what I've been able to purchase has a smell to it. And I don't know why. I don't know if there's a reason for them to do that, but it definitely has a smell. Kathy says we should do a recipe swap. I'll try to find the recipe. I know it was in Taste of Home magazine. Okay, awesome. Well, you know, you and I are going to be on lives together starting in November. So we'll have plenty of time because you know we're going to be talking food coming up on Thanksgiving. Oh, Rayanne says that her favorite pie is buttermilk pecan pie. Can't eat a lot at one time because it's so rich, but I love it. Now, Rayanne, last year I tried something I've never tried to make before, and it was a big hit. And I love pecan pie. I do. And I don't say it pecan pie. It is pecan. There's a difference. Giovanni, close your nose. Good try. But I made pecan pie topped brownie. My goodness. Oh my gosh. It was fantastic. It was very, very rich, but oh my gosh. No, I love this stuff too much. Love it. I think next week is going to be the week to send big time and make a hubby an Italian cream cake. Ooh. Italian cream cake. Let's see. Kathy says we have a hurricane relief fund that we pay, and we are still paying for 3 hurricanes. It did not even affect our area. The infrastructure here is a joke. Yeah, it is. Agreed. I agree, Katie. I can smell it too. Let's see. So, yeah, the pecan pie topped brownie was a big hit here last year. Good night, Chloe. Kathy is in Louisiana, Patricia. She's asking what state Kathy is in. Kathy is in Louisiana. She is up near Arkansas, but she is still in Louisiana. Close enough to count. Close enough to the south part of it to count. Oh. Alright, got one more got one more side to press, and then this quilt top is done, you guys. All that will be left is for me to cut batting, to layer it, and quilt it. So this might actually be done by Halloween. I don't know what colors I'm going to quilt it with yet, though, because the purples are light in some sections and dark in others. And I really don't want to change thread that many times. And I'm not going to quilt over the embroidery. But I don't know. I think I want more than just straight line quilting now. Now that I'm looking at it. I think I want something fancy. And I don't know that I can do it. 45 minutes south of Arkansas. Yes. Yeah, I looked it up. I was curious. I was so curious. I am the Googler. Alright, here we go. It's going to go up on the wall. And I'm going to grab a couple pins just to hold it, just to be on the safe side, so I don't risk it falling down on me after I put it up here. And I don't know what I knocked down, but whatever it was, it will survive. It will survive. All right, there's one pin. And let me get this behind the willow. I'm gonna have to tell my husband he's gotta do less intrusive decorating next year. That way I can still put stuff up on my wall. He did not think that part through. Just saying. I can't even get my pins because they're stuck in the tree. I dropped one. All right, let's see. Let's get the spider web out of the way so I can pin. And let me get my next pin because I dropped one. And there we go. All right, so now we get to tuck behind the tree. I think it was my tombstone, my little coffin thing, my coffin word thing that fell. I think that's what fell. So if I had to guess, that would be what I would guess. Oh, the fan is blowing it. So it's making it pop out from the wall. I'm going to put a couple of tack pins in here to hold it against the wall. And there we go. Halloween Town is now done, you guys. Can I do the 2 silver and our grays for the quilting? Oh, that's a good idea. I have a light gray. So I could do that. Let me grab you guys off of this one camera real quick. And we will reposition this one. Yep, it was my little tombstone coffin thing that fell. Oh, this doesn't even get half of it. Oh, you know what? I'm zoomed in. Let me zoom out as far out as I can. Okay, so we are going to have to go even further if I can. Let's see what I can do to get you guys a full view of Halloween Town. As full as we can get it tonight without taking pictures. All right, let's see. I'm re-angling if I can. It doesn't like me tonight. It does not like me. Okay. Let me also make it a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see something versus it being a tiny little piece. All right, that's what I want. There we go. I'm moving it around. I apologize. I'm sorry. Just be patient with me for a second. All right. We'll do that right there. All right. Let me tuck out of the way. All right. So in this top corner, going across the top row is the skeleton. We have the male zombie. We have owls. We have the haunted house, and we have a witch flying over a hat. In the second row, I know you guys can't see this up close, so I will be doing pictures. So don't panic. Please don't panic. Next row is ghosts flying over some pumpkins. We have the female zombie in the red dress. We have the ghosts with the tombstone. We have a witch brewing a pot, brewing in a cauldron. And then we have rest in with a skull. And then third row is a black cat sitting on pumpkins. We have the mummy. We have the bat flying out of the gates. We have the hand reaching up from the grave. And then we have crows sitting on pumpkins. This row down here, this next row is the haunted tree, the scarecrow, the toad, Igor, and then a ghost flying over pumpkins again. A different ghost flying over pumpkins. Then we have a vampire, we have Frankenstein, we have Bride of Frankenstein, we have trick-or-treaters, and back in the corner is the werewolf. Awesome. Okay, so let me see what I missed. Let's see. Where am I at? Okay, let me go back up. The big reveal, says Patricia. Yes, right? Part of the country I've never been. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is definitely humid. Kathy says quilting could be done on Orville Dove. It blends so well. Yeah, it would. I've got some Glide that will blend really well. That is also kind of a gray. So I think that would work too. The actual postal city I ship to is not my physical location. That's just where my mail goes to, and then they deliver from there. Yeah, but it's still close enough. You're not going to drive an hour and a half away. So, can I do 2 silver and grays? Yeah, I'm not sure. Kathy says that quilt top is gorgeous. Thank you. It looks amazing, says Patricia. What about a variegated thread or maybe glow-in-the-dark thread? Ooh, I could do glow-in-the-dark. I could. I haven't used glow-in-the-dark for much, so I could possibly use the glow-in-the-dark. I'll have to stitch slow to do the glow-in-the-dark. But I could potentially do that. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that one. Giovanna says, beautiful quilt. Thank you. Jen says, beautiful top. Love the way you did the border. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted something that showcased each little scene a little bit better, and they weren't running on top of each other. I also wanted something bigger. I think some curving lines could look like the wind in the purple. Yes, it could. Absolutely. Linda says, beautiful. Thank you. Laura says, spectacular job. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Kathy says, thank you, Giovanna. Appreciate it. Chit Chatty channel, and the only thing that can be learned on my channel is possibly how to not do things. You're funny, Kathy. You are fantastic. You're a great creator. Oh my gosh, you guys. You are blowing up my channel. Love it. Love it. Visit that part of the country, Kathy? Yes, Susan. It's beautiful there. It is. Kathy says, we have great food if nothing else. Yes, you do. Love your channel, Kathy. Feels like I'm in the room with you just chatting. Yes, Patricia. I love Kathy's channel for that reason too. All right. Where are we at? Love to visit New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans is New Orleans can be a pill. Just gonna say it can be a pill. It's a lot busier than you probably think it would be. Right now it might be a bit sad, but they have fabulous food too. Yes, they do. They do. I have a long arm. Yes, it's a sit down long arm, but it's on a cutie frame. So I could actually quilt this on the cutie frame. And let's see, House of Blues is always a must when we go there. Oh, cool. It's a museum. It's a restaurant. Yeah. Kathy's beating me to it. It's a restaurant that plays music. Yes, it does. Plays blues music. Yes. Glenda says, I love the way you did your border. Thank you. Thank you. I really wanted to give the effect that this bottom section really is like going up towards that middle, and then the top is coming down. So I wanted to give a little bit of it. Oh, yes. Yes, Giovanna. I had not completely forgotten. I promise. All right. Let me grab my... I got to take you guys off of this. I got to be able to see. So hang on just a second. I got to get closer to be able to see. All right. So, that extra, 2 feet makes a difference. I can see a lot, but that extra 2 feet makes a huge difference. All right, let me get my recipe file up because I just opened it the other day. So it is not far away. I thought, what in the heck? I definitely didn't open some of those recently. I don't know what my computer's thinking. Let's see what it's thinking. Here we go. Recipe file is that. I think that's where yeah, that one's the right one. Okay, I do a chicken pot pie. The chicken pot pie is fantastic, by the way. I can't scroll it down. Let's see. View. There, view. All right, read mode. Awesome. Chicken pot pie. Sweet potato casserole recipe. Sweet potato pie. Broccoli cheese soup. Slow cook or pork and beans, zucchini bread muffins, apple pie filling, zucchini with parmesan, whipped frosting. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, if you guys have never thought about it, you could make sweet potato lasagna. If you don't want to do pasta, and you can do potatoes instead, or you can do sweet potatoes instead. Sweet potato pasta is a good alternative to regular lasagna. Giovanna says, now I'm hungry, right? These are my recipes. These are the ones that I've cooked and I make really well that people like. So they're on my recipe file. Sausage balls. Have I made that? I think I have made that, but it's been a while. Let's see. Marinara sauce, because I hate packaged spaghetti sauce. French toast. Oh my gosh, my French toast is fantastic. It's to die for. Zucchini bread muffins are delicious. I had a little honey in mine. It says Kathy, nothing better than fresh baked cinnamon bread. I'm sitting here eating a slice. I don't blame you, Katie. Chicken carbonara. Classic cheesecake. Ooh, have you guys had pavlova before? Raise your hand if you've ever had pavlova before. A lot of people, when I say a pavlova, they don't know what I'm talking about. All right, pumpkin pie. I use cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, and lemon zest. Those are my spices. Now, I do use dark brown sugar. Or if I don't have dark brown, I will make my own dark brown sugar with molasses. Patricia has had a pavlova. Yay! So you know what it is. Pasta sauce has to be homemade always. Well, you're not married to my husband. He buys it. He buys it. I have a half-size pumpkin pie recipe in case I have to make it half-sized, because making a full-size can sometimes be more than what the pan can handle. It's a mess. Strawberry shortcake. That one's not that good of a recipe, but I still make it. Let's see. Blueberry muffins from scratch. Oh my gosh, my muffins from scratch are fantastic. Let's see. There's my full-size pumpkin pie recipe. You have heard of it. Yay! Yay. Yeah, some people think it's too sweet. So a traditional pavlova, the way that I've always seen them, is more the size of a pie. Like it's like 9-10 inches, something like that. And you use fresh berries like strawberries or blueberries or raspberries or blackberries. You do berries. And you put those on top of the pavlova, and you put whipped cream on top of that. Or you put whipped cream on the pavlova, then you put the berries so it doesn't immediately sink in. And then you cut it kind of like a pie slice. You can also do them individual sized. The pavlova itself, the base of the pavlova is a meringue. It's a hard meringue. If you like the little, they sell them in, they don't usually sell them in bags. They're usually it is very similar to a meringue. Yeah, it's a bigger version of it. And so the meringues that you can get, they're like a little drop meringue that you get in like those plastic containers that you get like 40 or 50 of them in the container, or maybe 30 of them in the container or whatever. Those are very hard and crunchy. A pavlova is going to be a little bit more marshmallowy. And oh my gosh, they're fantastic. And they're not overly sweet. Laura says, I love blackberries and raspberries. Yes. Hard on the outside and pillowy soft inside. Yes, absolutely. They are hard to do right, but they are, oh my gosh, they're delicious. Katie says that she used to make pumpkin pies for her kids and their dad didn't eat it, but it smelled so good while I was making it. See, I will make cheesecake for other people, but I don't eat it. So I'm right with you on that. I will eat the pumpkin pie, but I won't eat cheesecake. But my cheesecake is fantastic, is what I've been told. My husband and stepdaughter fight over my cheesecake. So, that says a little bit. Let's see. I do have a recipe for homemade cherry pie. I made that for Christmas one year. I made a Christmas tree cake. Oh my gosh. I completely screwed that up. It was the funniest cake fail in the world. This cake was supposed to have there was an insert of a different type of cake inside, and then it was supposed to have this curd, like orange curd, delicious stuff, but it was supposed to have this curd stuff in the middle or something like that. And so when you cut the layers, the curd was like there in the middle, with like the icing around it holding it in place. When I made it, you guys, that curd was like dripping out everywhere. It looked like my cake was bleeding orange. It was the funniest thing in the world. It was a massive fail, but it was so funny. So I kept the recipe. Susan says that the restaurant she worked at, the cook made plate-sized softer meringue and served it with whipped cream and fresh berries. That is a pavlova. It's a single serve pavlova. Giovanna says she'll say good night, everyone. Good night, Giovanna. Sleep well. Sleep well. You deserve it. Ooh, oh my gosh, these guys are fantastic. The blackberry crumb bars. Those are really good. I miss my muffins though. I might have to make my muffins, guys. I'd love your recipe for your pie crust. I used to have my grandma's recipe, but somehow during one of our moves it went missing. So my key to pie crust. And this is up to you on how you want to do it. I've got I use a basic recipe. Like I can go Google a recipe for pie crust, and that's what I use. I don't do anything fancy. What I do is I use I will take my butter out of the fridge, cube it up, and put it back in the fridge. So all my little bitty cubes, like I cut like 1/4 inch cubes. I cut my butter into 1/4 inch cubes. And if you are using a shortening and butter mix option, do the same thing with your shortening. Cut it into 1/4 inch cubes. Like put it in the fridge or freezer first. Get it really, really cold. Like good pie crust, you prep good pie crust. But you put it into the fridge or freezer. You want that as cold as you can get it. So you take it out, you cut it up, and then you put it back in there. While Patricia says her mom used frozen butter. Yeah, absolutely. I am down for that. I am down for it. You measure out all your dry ingredients. You use that pastry tool thingy, the thing with all the little blades. You use that to go ahead and mix your dry ingredients before you add anything else to it. Then when you start adding that butter in, you add a little bit, then you keep adding a little bit. You'll take it out of the fridge as you are adding that next little suction of butter. And then once you get all the butter added in, you are just combining it until it is all the same kind of consistency. And then when you go to add your water, because they do have you add like a tablespoon of water or something like that, about a tablespoon of water, and that depends on your environment. Here, I might have to add a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. My phone's about to start going off. It's 10 o'clock. So it's time for my meds. So we'll be getting off of here soon. But yeah, make sure your butter is as ice cold as it can be. If you're using shortening, you make sure your shortening is as ice cold as it can be, and make sure your water is as ice cold as it can be. Now here's the other thing. Pastry cutter, yes, that's the tool I'm thinking of. Yeah, absolutely, Susan. She said all her baking pans and tins are packed. We'll be buying aluminum bread pans so she can use her can of pumpkin to make pumpkin bread. Yeah. So after you get your pie crust mixed, take off all your rings, wash your hands really, really well beforehand, but mix it by hand. Mix the last little bit of it by hand. And then if you have a scale, this is the way I do it. I take and lay saran wrap over the scale, and I measure out how much all of my pie crust is, how much all of it weighs, and I evenly split it in half. Once I've got that split in half, I wrap up each ball of dough and put it in the fridge. Like each one of it gets wrapped in its own saran wrap, and it gets put in the fridge. And then I don't make the pie until the next day. So I do my pie crust the day before I make the pie, and I make my pies 1 or 2 days before Thanksgiving. Laura says, I know my grandma used lard in her pie crust, but I don't know if you can even buy that anymore. You can. Last time I saw lard, I did see it at Walmart. I don't know if you're going to find it in your area at Walmart, but in the Southeast you can. Southeast you definitely can. But using vegetable shortening, like Crisco shortening, I use the sticks of shortening. That's how I do mine. If I'm going to do the butter and shortening mix, that's what I do. Sometimes I've done full butter. Sometimes I've done a mix. I don't ever do full shortening. I always do a mix. If your store has a Hispanic section, you will find it there, says Patricia. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. But yeah, that's what I do for my pie crust. I also do my own taco seasoning. Sugar cookies to cut out. What else do I have in here? Baked mac and cheese, whipped cream, Kentucky butter cake, which I don't know that I've made that in a while. Classic pecan pie recipe. My cornbread is in here. Susan says my mother used Crisco. Yeah, the Crisco now comes in a stick, so you can buy it in a stick. That's what I use. I use half that and half butter usually. So that's kind of where I go with it. My cornbread recipe is also from scratch. Cornbread dressing is also from scratch using my cornbread. My mashed potatoes are from scratch. Let's see. And there's my pecan pie brownies. Woohoo! I do have the recipe. So yeah, I will be talking food all the way through Christmas, you guys. Kathy says that for her pie crust, she uses frozen butter. The key is not to let the butter get warm, and you will have a flaky crust. Yes, do not let it get warm. And when you roll it out, here's another thing that you can try. Roll it out. Of course, roll it out big enough for your pan, and make sure it's not super thin or super thick. Roll it out for your pan. Line your pan. Make sure you have enough room in your freezer, and stick that sucker in the freezer. So if your pie crust does not need to be baked, especially like pumpkin pie, you don't pre-bake your crust usually. Once you get that pie crust in your pan, shaped the way you want it, put it in the freezer. That will also keep that butter cold until you are ready to pour your ingredients in and put it in the pan, or put it in the oven. I have a pound of unsalted butter in my freezer. Yes! That's usually what oh yes, that's another thing, Laura. I do not use salted butter. Don't add any additional salt to your crust. Salted butter does make a difference. Do not use salted butter. Use unsalted butter if you're making your crust with butter. Yeah. I had not even thought about that, Susan. I'm glad you said something about it being unsalted. Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely use unsalted. All right. So, guys, it is already after 10 now. My lady downstairs will probably be getting upset with me for talking because that is loud, apparently. So I'm going to get off of here. I will be doing the last giveaway for October. We're going to do giveaways this upcoming Tuesday night. So if you are going to be here, please be here Tuesday night. We will have some more giveaways going on. Awesome, Laura. She says she has the unsalted butter. Yay! Yay! But yeah, I will be here Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I will give you guys all the reminders we can going into November. So you do not want to miss this Tuesday night, because we're going to go over all the things that you need to know coming back into the next month, because we've got a lot of changes coming up in November and going into the new year. So please, please, please be here. Yes, you do, Kathy. You guys have a great night, and I will see you Tuesday. If you've not already hit a thumbs up or a thumbs down for me, please do that. If you have not taken a moment to breathe, take a deep breath, let the calm come over you, go touch some fabric, go pet some thread before you go get in bed. All right, talk to you guys on Tuesday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I love each and every one of you. You guys bless me. So thank you.